So I don't only speak here, I speak to the whole continent. Let me also join Ustalo Wetu by saluting and wishing our King Zulu Kazweletini a belated birthday. To the EFF, there is only one Zulu king. There are no many kings who will never be divided by anyone. The Zulu kingdom is the only remaining organized kingdom of black people, and it must be protected. Every kingdom will have its own issues, but we must never allow the Zulu kingdom to be destroyed by those who go around destroying the institutions of black people. Ngibonge our kings and chiefs and indunas who are here. We are very happy that you joined us, including our pastors. We in the EFF recognize traditional leaders, and we work with traditional leaders because we believe that the fight for the land, it's a fight that belongs also to traditional leaders who were robbed of their land. And therefore, when we say Sfunum Tlaba, we are in the same struggle with our traditional leaders. Fighters today is called a Heritage Day. But when we were growing up, SG, we were told this is Shaka Day because that is the day he passed on. But when you mention the name Shaka to white people and white supremacy, they feel pain because Shaka fought with them and won many battles against them. That's why they are distorting this day and calling it all types of manners, like they are doing with June 16 and Chapville Day. They give our holidays new names because they want to distort the history of African people. So we must never allow them to rewrite the history of Africa. We are here today to salute the warriors, the kings and queens who fought for the land of South Africa and the whole of Africa. So when we say it's our heritage it's a heritage of conquering and a heritage of warriors who fought against the racists who came to our land and wanted to claim this beautiful land. What type of heritage must we celebrate? Are we celebrating the defeat, or are we celebrating the victories that those who came before us fought and won? Today, they say it's a Heritage Day. Except wearing the clothes that we are wearing and saying we are proud through the clothes, what other heritage do you have? Because when you say Happy Heritage Day, the whites are celebrating Heritage Day of owning banks. Their heritage is owning land. Our heritage is landless. Our heritage is that of not owning the mines when they own the mines. Our heritage is that of not owning the monopoly industries when they own monopoly industries and control everything in South Africa. They say we must say Happy Heritage Day. Both the poor and the rich, we must all be happy today. For what? Because we don't have what the rich have. They've got more than what we have as a heritage. Yeah, they are taking the land from our people. They are destroying our animals. We are told that if an animal can go into a farm owned by a white person, you must know that cow will never come back. It's already taken by white people. Even the little cows that we have and goats and sheep, they still want to take from us. I'm told even the dams are owned by individuals instead of being owned, speaker, by the municipality. We ask water and natural resource from a white man who owns the whole of water in Umhlaba Uyalingana. We cannot have one individual owning water. Water is a gift from God. We must all own this water. It must belong to us. Every house here must have a clean running water. Every house here must be a proper house with electricity and a flushing toilet. When we say we want flushing toilets, it doesn't mean we are clownishing. Not to have a flushing toilet is indignity. You cannot say, I am a proud man or a proud woman when you don't have a flushing toilet. There is no dignity in not having a flushing toilet. Comrades, Skukuni and Shaka fought these battles against the Boers, and the Boers took our land. We are continuing with the battles that were started by Makado. We are continuing with the battles that were started by Queen Mantatis from Lesotho. We are continuing with the battles of Mushweshwe, who fought against white domination of our land. And therefore, when we say we want our land back, we want water back, we want our mountains back, we want all our trees back into the hands of the rightful owners, it's not us, it's those who came before us. Comrades, we are children of Winnie Mandela and many other women who defied the apartheid government and said to black people, you must never worship white domination. You must never worship white supremacy. You must never be scared of white people. We are equal to white people. We are actually more equal than them because they are on our land. So today is not a bright day. We cannot be told by Boers on our own land that today it's a bright day, we must braai. What are we going to braai? Because as Sebenzi, we don't have jobs, we are unemployed. They have everything. That's why they will say, today it's a bright day. To us, there is no braai, there is poverty, there is unemployment, there is disease, there is lack of streets, there is lack of water, there is lack of jobs in our own lives. Therefore, we will never braai, we will never join them in their braai. Let them braai the stolen meat. It will make them sick because even the cows they are braaiing are stolen cows. Comrades, we must wear our Zulu attire, our Venda attire, our Sotho attire, proudly so. But that is not our heritage. There is no heritage without the land. The heritage is the land. The heritage is not the clothes that we are wearing. We wear them because we want to identify ourselves and show them that we are proud Zulus. We are not ashamed, yet we are still fighting for what belongs to us. We will never stop until you return the land. I'm told there is a man here in Mkanyakute, but he is called Senegal, a white man who owns the dams. You must tell Senegal that when the EFF comes into Mkanyakute and takes power, those dams are going to be returned into the hands of our people. How do you say the students must go to school and go and learn? In the whole Mkanyakute, there is no university. How can we not have a university in the whole region? Shame on you, ANC. Manguzi Buthelezi, during his time as a prime minister, he built universities here in KwaZulu-Natal. The ANC has never built a single university since 1994. We don't want a college here. We don't want Zululand campus here. We want Mkanyakute University that we are going to build from the ground up. The ANC don't want people who are educated. That's why they will never build your university. They like them illiterate because they lie to you. We want a government of the people that will hire people according to their qualification. Everybody must have a house. A proper RDP house must have 3-bedroom, must have a toilet inside, a flushing toilet, must have electricity, must have a lounge, a kitchen, must have a passage. So that abantu abadala babalele this side, abantwana balele this side. Masiyenza izinto zabantu babadala, asifuna abantwana bazwe. Bathe umama uhlekana, we want proper RDP houses. Why? Masunikeza indlu, we are giving you your dignity back. You must look at people who own property. They don't walk the same way with people who don't have property. When you give a woman a house and see her change her attitude. I've got a house, I must go back to my house. I'm an owner of a house. We want to see that proudness in the faces of all women of Mkanyakute. We don't want a woman who sleeps in a house that was given to her through crooked means. Because Mabau Nigeza Indlu, because they slept with you, your conscience will eat you for the rest of your life. We want you to be in that house and be happy. Not have bad memories of how you got that house. We want you to get a house because you deserve it. Today, abantu abadala don't have RDP houses. Abantwana bane RDP house. When did these kids register to get RDPs before the old people? Here is an old woman. Here is an old man who has registered for RDP since 1997. Today, a child of 24 years got an RDP house before a mother of 5 who registered in 1997. We don't want that. We want a list of RDP applicants to be made public. Everybody must know who is on the list of RDP houses and what number are they. If you're number 11 and I'm number 10, and then you get a house before me, how did you get it? Because I was before you. Comrades, the youth of Mkanyakute and the whole of KwaZulu-Natal are not working today. Since Ramaphosa Angena as a president, we lost more than 2 million jobs in South Africa. Since angena Ramaphosa, things have become worse in South Africa. Today, asine gesi, Eskom has collapsed because they've destroyed the whole of Eskom. Because they know that Ramaphosa got 1 billion in 2017 to be a president from white people. All of state-owned enterprises have collapsed. The jobs are gone. When we say 1 million jobs are lost, you must know 7 million people are affected. Because one person who's working looks after a lot of people. And tomorrow, when the job is no more, you must know a lot of our people are in hunger. Why? This big nose called Ramaphosa in the office. Mara, our youth are eating nothing. Ramaphosa is sleeping on top of dollars. In Mkanyagute, we are sleeping on the floor. We don't even have bed. The most basic things, yet our president sleeps on top of dollars. Comrade Speaker, please, we want the municipality to engage with Senegal that we want our water back. We want our water back because we cannot have a situation where the people of this area do not have access to water that is in the hands of one person. Speaker, create jobs for our people. We don't want to know whether they are IFP or they are EFF or they are ANC. All of them who qualify, let them work in the municipality through their qualification, not through their political affiliation. We want more money for the child grant. Because 350 is too little. Ramaphosa's dogs don't eat 350 per day, not per month. Yet he's giving our children 350 per month. That is a lot of money. That's why we want these children to get more money, so that politicians are left with nothing to steal. They steal this money because it's too much. We want child grant to go up. We want imali yabugogo nabumkhulu nayo it must be increased, because mawunikeza abugogo nabumkhulu imali, you know very well that they are going to support the children of our own black brothers and sisters. Abugogo abashaya imadayisi. Every day, mabatholi pension, bathenga inkungu. You are going to eat live chicken on the day of the pension. You know very well that if we give these gogos lot of money, SG, a lot of our children will never go hungry, because they work for our children and for African poor families. All these houses you see standing in black communities is because of these old people who are looking after our own children. So the money that they are giving them is too little. We want more. And that's why we are in that parliament, to fight for you to get more. What is the problem, Mr. Malema? The children of Mkanyagute, they are sleeping without food, waking up the following morning to go to school with an empty stomach. How can they concentrate? There is high level of crime here. People are stealing cars, people are stealing cows. The police are not enough. We want more police stations, we want more police, we want police visibility, and we want more money for the police, because they are paying them nothing. Police must be paid a bonus once they've arrested the most wanted criminal. Once that case is successful and that criminal is convicted and sentenced for a long time, that investigating officer must get another bonus that he did a proper investigation. So that police, when they do their job, they do it very well without taking a bribe because we are paying them. Today, the police, you just mentioned Coke, they smile. The only thing they know is to shoot our people who are toiling for water and electricity. And that time, the policeman who's shooting at people who are demanding for water, the mother stays with us there. We are demanding water for the mother of a policeman who's shooting at us. We need police service, not the police who defend the corrupt government against the people of South Africa. So we want to make sure that these police are transformed and they are police of conscience, and they understand that the people are not the enemy. The enemy is those who turned against the people. Let the police turn their guns on Ramaphosa and demand those dollars that Ramaphosa has stolen in South Africa. No politician who's corrupt must be protected by the police. That's why in China, once a politician is found guilty of corruption, they kill that politician. When you are a speaker of a municipality and they arrest you for corruption, they take you to prison. The next speaker, they take that speaker with his family, children, wife or husband, to go and see the former speaker in prison. And they say, this guy is the one who was holding the position your father is holding or your mother is holding. If your mother steals this money, he's going to come here. So that anti-corruption starts at home. When you want to buy a BMW, it must be your children who say, Mama, where do you get the money? Are you qualified? We don't want you to get arrested. We need to fight corruption from our own houses straight into public office. Fighters, South Africa has become a war zone against women and children. I once heard a terrible story here in KZN where young men went to rape Ugogo, an old woman being raped by young men who have become a sick society. Men, we must have a conversation with ourselves. The way the chairperson was asking you to stand up and say, Bayete, you must stand up on your own alone and ask yourself, what type of a man are you who beats up a woman to death? Mom Shalom Faz, she's not running away. She keeps on coming to you and hugging you. So sorry, I'm sorry. She's not fighting. She's coming to you because she knows this, my protection must come from here. I can't go anywhere except coming to this man. Instead of being ashamed, you beat her more and beat her to death. And more when you are around, walking the street, putting indoor, I mean. Indoor, they shaba fast. It's Schumann. As phone is Schumann, it's phone my daughter. And our daughter are the men who don't rape, are the men who don't beat up women, are the men who don't beat up children. Women don't need protection from men. Stop saying, let's protect women. They don't need protection. Just stop beating them up. There won't be a need for protection. You are beating them up and coming on the other side and say, let's protect them. It can't be. Let KZN be the first province to stand up and say, enough is enough. This war against women must come to an end. We don't want to hear the killing of women. We don't want to hear the raping of women. We have become the capital of rape in the whole world. In the past, when you go to America or Britain or Venezuela or Cuba and you say, I come from South Africa, they say, oh, Nelson Mandela, Nelson Mandela. Now when you say, I'm from South Africa, Barrio, rape. A rapist, let's protect our children because this one can rape our children. You rape, including raping your own children. We must have a conversation on our own as men and say, enough is enough. No one is going to do it in our name as men. When you see a man dragging a woman, when you see a man beating up a woman, when you see a man raping a woman, you don't need a permission of that woman to stop and say, don't do that, not in our name as men. Because they are not going to say Julius Malema. They say man of South Africa. They include us because of your own mess. So let's protect women because these men are embarrassing us. Comrades, we in the EFF this year, we are going to our conference here in KwaZulu-Natal. Our conference is called Provincial People's Assembly. Fighters, we want maximum discipline. We want you to build strong branches. We want those who contest to be leaders to do so in a responsible manner, not in an ANC manner where you fight for positions. In the EFF, we don't fight for positions, we fight for our people. If you want to fight for a position, try next door. It's called ANC. That's where they even kill each other when they go to conference. So, Commissar Fosi, we don't want to hear that a fighter was killed in KwaZulu-Natal because they were going to a conference. Let us be exemplary that black people can meet in a conference, start the business on time and finish the business on time without chairs flying, without a drop of blood, but resolutions that are going to better the lives of our people. We are not in it for ourselves, we are in it for our people. When you look at the council and you say, oh Mkanyagute, as long as there is a red beret there, you must be happy. Not you, self-seeking, wanting to be a leader at all costs. Comrades, we marched to ESCOM. We are the only organization in South Africa that marched to ESCOM. When we marched to ESCOM, South Africans on Twitter did a hashtag and said, Futsek EFF. That they said, Futsek EFF. Then they said, we are causing traffic in Sandton. When we were fighting for them in 2020, before things became worse as they are, we warned you, South Africa, about Pravin Gordhan. And you said, we don't love Pravin Gordhan because he's an Indian. Today, let your Indian give you electricity. Because we told you that Pravin is part of a problem and is going to sell the whole of South Africa. Comrades, there was a proposal in ESCOM that they must take completely the electricity blackout until they fixed the old stations. They wanted to take the whole South Africa into darkness, not this thing of 4 hours. Wire, no electricity. we are going to become like Nigeria if we don't stand up and do something about it. Electricity is the economy. Electricity is education. Electricity is health. Everything relies on electricity. Today, children in high care and ICU in hospitals, they are dying in numbers because of load shedding. We want you, South Africa, in 2020, and you said Futsek EFF. We tell you all the time, you keep on saying Futsek EFF. That's why today you are in darkness. If in 2020 you could have said, yes, EFF, we are with you. Let us remove this CEO. Let us remove COO. Let's remove Ramaphosa. Let's remove Pravin. Things were going to be better today. Why? The EFF has got a giraffe view. We see things as they come. We are not prophets. We tell you that here comes a problem. And most of you, you say, when we tell you the truth, you say we are disrespectful. ESCOM has collapsed. You don't have water, you don't have electricity, you don't have a job. The food is very expensive. Today, you can't buy a fish oil. The most basic thing called fish oil is extremely expensive. Petrol is too high. The taxis are going up. The bus fares are going up. There is nothing that is not abnormal under Ramaphosa. But they are going to a conference. But I pinned Ramaphosa abuye second term. No problem. They can make him second term Lago Congolos. Not in South Africa. South Africa is not ANC. How can an unemployed graduate, a normal person, sit in a meeting and raise a hand and say, I second Ramaphosa for the second term? What type of stupidity is that? We are Tagata Ramaphosa, straight. So, comrades, we want Ramaphosa removed from office. We don't want Cyril as a president of this country again because of what happened in Phala and the issues I was talking about. He is not fit to become a president. We fought with Zuma, but ESCOM was working. We fought with Zuma, but Dinel was working. We fought with Zuma, but there was SAA were able to fly to Durban. Today's Hamba train because this person with a big nose, he has swallowed everything. When we call for national shutdown, the whole of Mukanyakute must come to a standstill. No school, no work, no shop, nothing must move. And we must say we demand the resignation of Ramaphosa with immediate effect because we need a better president for South Africa. Comrade, I'm very happy to see President Wepudemo from Eswatini. Look, comrade, they bombed his house few days ago because now he's fighting for the rights of the people of Swaziland. They thought he was inside the house. The police went to bomb his house. This comrade who was talking to you here, they wanted to kill him. They want to kill him in Swaziland, not because he killed anyone, but because he said, let the will of the people be respected. Let the king of Swaziland be like the king of Amazulu nation. Zulu is not choosing government of KwaZulu-Natal. He's choosing his traditional council. The government of KwaZulu-Natal is chosen by the people of KwaZulu-Natal. We want the same thing in Swaziland. Why? We cannot enjoy freedom if there is no freedom in Swaziland. We cannot be happy if the people of Swaziland live in fear. So we are with them. They are us. They are Dlaminis in Swaziland. They are Dlaminis here in KwaZulu-Natal. Yet someone stand up and say, hey, asafuna machangan. Mara la kumkhanya kude, you are on the border of Mozambique. You've got people from Mozambique and people from here in KwaZulu-Natal. Africa is one. We must fight for the unity of the African people. We must never say, hey, Heritage Day, but I don't want Zimbabweans. When during the coronation of our king here in KwaZulu-Natal, there were Zulus from Malawi. Yet when you stand up, Malawi. But it's a Zulu, that person, because you don't know your history. That time, utokile, amapesho, utu you are the warriors. Yeah, you are Ilibutu. You are fighting another Libuto from Malawi. You don't know because you just heard he's from Malawi. Here in South Africa, there is Mpofu. In the Eastern Cape, there is Mpofu in Zimbabwe. So which Mpofu are you going to chase away? Because you go around saying you don't want Zimbabweans, hey, they take your jobs. They take your jobs from who? Who's the owner of the job? A white man. You are fighting to work for a white man? That's what you are fighting about. No, I will be a better servant of a white man. In the EFF, we are not servants of the white man. We are the owners of the land of South Africa, and the white man must work for us. We don't fight for jobs. Jobs comes automatically when you own. We want to give you the land so that you stop saying, yes, Funim Sevens, I open saloon, you've got a land here. Run your saloon. Run your tailoring business. Do whatever you want to do. You've got the land. So let us not allow anyone to divide black people. Love yourself as a black person. Look at yourself on the mirror and see a Zimbabwean and see a Nigerian and see an African, so that tomorrow when you see a person from Zimbabwe, you know this is my brother, this is my sister. Their struggles is our struggle. We will win it together. They say, no, Malema says these Zimbabweans must come here, these Mozambicans must come here. We are not going to vote for him because I must go to Bed Bridge in Musina to go and stop a mother who's carrying a sick child, jumping a fence, saying, I'm in a clinic in Musina, my child is sick, go back, you are a Zimbabwean. I am a father of 3 children. I know how it feels to see your child sick. Sometimes you even feel like taking that pain from your child and carry it yourself. With that conscience, I will never stop a mother who wants to be helped in South Africa with a sick child. What is illegal about saving life? We must love life. And when we love life, we will save it. We must love ourselves. Black people are hated everywhere. You go to America, you go to Britain, you go to Europe, everywhere. When they see a black person, they see a reject. How can we be hated all over and still be hated at home, where we're supposed to love one another and struggle together and hold each other's hand and say to those who are suffering, we suffered like you. One day you will get your freedom. And when you get your freedom, we will rejoice together. Fighters, let us defend the unity of Africa. Kwame Nkrumah fought for this unity. Julius Nyerere fought for this unity. Gaddafi fought for this unity. Robert Sobukwe, Steve Biko, Winnie Mandela, Chris Hani fought for this unity. Robert Mugabe fought for this unity. Why must we be divided as Africans? If Africa comes with new currency, that currency, we use it all over Africa, it will be more powerful than the dollar. Why? We've got more minerals than they have. We can have a currency that is based, its strength is based on our minerals. In London, where they just buried their old woman, there is too much gold. Yet in London there is no mine of gold, not a single mine of gold. This woman that Ramaphosa went to bury, running around like he's going to bury his mother to Britain, was wearing on her head diamonds that are worth 440 million US dollars. Those diamonds are from here, not in Africa, from South Africa. If we take those diamonds back and convert that $440 million into rands, how much can we make from the stolen diamond that was on the head of this woman they just buried, and they say we must celebrate her? Comrades, London, America, Europe, all of the colonizers must never make us fight each other. We must love one another as one nation, as one continent, because Africa, in fact, is not a continent, it's a country. We used to travel without limit before these borders. And let's go back there where we love one another. Unity will produce the most powerful Africa that is equal to Russia. The way they are scared of Russia, they must be scared of us. But now they are treating us like a subcontinent. The people of Mkanyagute and the leadership, we want to really thank you very much for coming out in your numbers to show the whole of South Africa that EFF is in every corner of Africa. There is no way in the whole of South Africa where you can go and not find the EFF. We want to thank you because in the last elections, 2021, you gave us 10 councillors. We had 6, now we've got 10. We are the only organization that is growing in KwaZulu-Natal and in the whole of South Africa. Don't be in a hurry. Kancane kancane. Sisofika. As long as we are growing, as long as we are not losing one vote, if we add one vote, it's +1. Therefore, all of you, leaders and members and ground forces of the EFF, let us go and reach the target of 1 million before December, because we must be the biggest political party in South Africa, so that 2024 we've got 1 million foot soldiers. When we make a call from Winnie Mandela House, the whole of Mkanyagute must shake, because there is a strong EFF in Mkanyagute. Anyone who wants to divide the EFF in Mkanyagute, we are asking you, just look at that beret. Before you fight each other, look at that beret, and you must ask the young child who's 10 years old, who's 8 years old, when you grow up, which party are you going to vote for? They always say the EFF. Before you destroy it, when they see that beret, those young children who are staying in the shacks, who are sleeping without food, they see hope in that beret. When you destroy the EFF, you are destroying a hope of that 10-year-old child who said, When I grow up, I want to vote for EFF. By the time he turns or she turns 18, there will be no more EFF because you destroyed it. The poor of the poorest, when they see that beret, they see the hope of the hopeless. These gogos here and all these old men who are here, it's not because they are bored. They could be at home doing other things at home, but they came here. Why? They said our children cannot be alone when we are around. We are going to support them, and we are going to support them physically. Do not destroy the hopes of these old people. They had a lot of hope in the ANC of Nelson Mandela. Now Nelson Mandela is no more. He died with that ANC that they respected. When they see you, they see the new Nelson Mandelas, and do not disappoint them. Look at their faces before you engage in internal propositions and say, for the sake of these old people, for the sake of children who are going to bed without food, I will never engage in a factional struggle to destroy the EFF. I will build the EFF to be a vanguard party that will fight for our people. Comrades, do not get tired. It will not be easy. Others are going to fall on the way, but we must die with our boots on. We must never be shaken. Not even death must shake us. No amount of intimidation must shake us. No amount of threat must shake us. No one should say you will not get a job and you get scared. Do not be scared. We are building a party of the poor, of the poorest. And when you get tired, look at where we were in 2016 with 6 councillors, and in 2021 with 10 councillors, and tell yourself that we are making progress. Do not allow others to judge the EFF on your behalf. You are the soldiers of the EFF. You are the EFF. When they say the EFF is failing, they are referring to you because you are not doing your job. Fighter, when we live here, every household, every street, every hostel, brick by brick, the floor of shops, everybody who works there must be recruited into the EFF. You must go asking them, why are you remaining behind? The unstoppable red train is moving, and no one will ever stop this red train. No one, not even Ramaphosa, can stop this. By Sabagabi, they know very well that this is a fighting machine of the poor, of the poorest. Fighters, go on. This tent is too small. That's why many others are standing outside, and the sun is too hot, the tent is too hot, but people came out in their numbers. Why? They trust you, EFF. Do not disappoint those people who are standing on the sun outside and saying, this is where our hope will come from. We wish you all of the best, and then let us continue to fight. Freedom is coming tomorrow in the name of economic freedom in our lifetime. Amanda!
I'm a king, yes, I'm a king, I think I'm a king,